leadership meeting.
There's the earthquake I told you we were going to have. That's there.
The carnage it caused seen firsthand by New Zealand's Prime Minister on Wednesday.
All New Zealanders have a piece of our heart in Christchurch. All of our lives are touched by this event. A friend or a family member who lives there, a time spent studying or a memorable experience there. We feel connected to your suffering. Your tragedy is our tragedy. Today I want Christchurch to hear this message. You will get through this. This proud country is right behind you, and we are backing you with all our might.
As if conditions weren't already tough enough, concerned that aftershocks could bring more buildings tumbling down. This hotel, one of the tallest buildings in town, leans precariously to one side. Each new sway of the ground, and on Wednesday there have been many, brings fears it will fall. This building is typical now of so many in Christchurch. A real mess. You can see the walls have been ripped off, rooms exposed, rubble on the ground. It was actually hit by the more minor earthquake in September and was being restored after that earthquake when yesterday's hit. And yesterday's, I'm afraid, finished it off. Out of town too, the fort's clear. Beautiful tourist drives, now rock-strewn assault courses. In the city, everyone affected. Water, where available, must be boiled. Half of all homes without power. Those that can, leaving. Christchurch Airport reopened, but packed with people desperate to get out. New Zealand is one of the least populated countries on Earth, famous for its wide open spaces. The terrible irony here, that this quake hit one of its most crowded places at one of its busiest times. Andrew Thomas, AlJazeera, Christchurch.
Well, the women's world tennis #1, Caroline Wozniacki, is safely through to round 3 in Qatar. But 3 of the top seeds have tumbled out in the second round in Doha. We'll tell you which ones in a moment. Also, Pakistan's captain puts on a 5-star performance in his side's first World Cup match. Joe will be with us with all the details in just a couple of minutes.
Business Latest is brought to you by Qatar Gas, delivering energy to the world. Business Latest is brought to you by Qatar Gas, delivering energy to the world.
All sides, all views, all ways. Al Jazeera.
It's 36 to 38 degrees Celsius. No higher, no lower. It's soft, but not too soft. It's just enough to smooth things out. It's all of this, halfway to anywhere, with plenty of time to spare. The Qatar Airways Premium Terminal in Doha. 5-star service for first and business class passengers. Qatar Airways, world's 5-star airline.
International tennis going on here in Doha. Joe's here with the latest news. Joe.
Yes, thanks very much, Taymor. Just days after returning to the #1 ranking, Caroline Wozniacki has reached round 3 of the Qatar Ladies Open. Wozniacki, who won in Dubai on Sunday, showed no signs of slowing down after a 2-day rest. She gave 2006 champion Nadia Petrova a thorough workout and came out on top, winning 6-3, 6-2 in a commanding display. But third seed Francesca Schiavone made a shock early exit. The Italian was beaten in straight sets by Peng Shuai of China. Peng, who was a qualifier for this tournament, dominated from start to finish and disposed of the tired-looking French Open champion 7-5, 6-3 to reach the third round. Fourth seed Li Na was also ousted, as was Shahar, who had been seeded 8th. No such problems, though, for fifth seed Jelena Jankovic. She raced through the first set of her last 16 tie with Sanja Mirza, taking it 6-love, and she carried on in the second vein in the second set, winning it 6-1. Australian captain Ricky Ponting has been reprimanded by the International Cricket Council after he damaged a dressing room TV after his poor performance against Zimbabwe. He threw a piece of equipment which bounced off his kit bag and hit the corner of the television. The ICC said Ponting accepted a breach of his code relating to abuse of ground equipment or fixtures and fittings during an international match. Well, while it was a bad day for Ponting, Pakistan's cricketers made an excellent start to this tournament against Kenya. They made 317 for 7 from their 50 overs. Umar Akmal top scoring with 71 off 52 balls. In reply, Kenya were bundled out for just 112. Captain Shahid Afridi was the star with the ball when he took 5 wickets. Pakistan winning by 205 runs. There's no doubt they'll face a tougher test in their next match against Sri Lanka.
Yeah, definitely, and inshallah we know how important the next game is, and I think Sri Lanka is the best team. Especially in their own conditions, and I think the way we played this game, so definitely we'll go with the same strength, and we try to deliver as best as we can.
New Zealand's Prime Minister John Key says he still hopes that matches in this year's Rugby World Cup can be played in Christchurch, but local officials say it's too early to tell whether that will be possible after Tuesday's devastating earthquake. New Zealand's second largest city is scheduled to host 7 games, including 2 quarter-finals in September and October this year. But that is now thrown into doubt after a 6.3 magnitude quake killed at least 75 people.
Look, if we could host the Rugby World Cup as we're intending to in Christchurch, I'd like to do that. It's some way into the future. It's a very important city to New Zealand, and it would be a demonstration that Christchurch is back up on its feet. I mean, one of the issues may be accommodation. We know there's been substantial damage to hotels, so again, that's something the Rugby World Cup Minister will be looking at.
On to football now. Manchester United will be without 5 key players when they take on Marseille in the first leg of their Champions League last 16 tie a little later. Central defenders Rio Ferdinand and Johnny Evans, as well as Ryan Giggs, Anderson and Michael Owen are all injured, but Brazilian twins Rafael and Fabio have been cleared fit. Marseille also have injury concerns, with striker André-Pierre Gignac out and Loic Remy and Brandao doubtful. Well, Bayern Munich will be looking to avenge their 2010 Champions League final defeat when they visit Inter Milan in the other game on Wednesday. Inter won that match 2-0 thanks to a brace from striker Diego Milito, but he is out injured for this game. More good news for Bayern is that influential players Frank Ribery and Arjen Robben are both available as well. Well, already underway though, Sevilla have taken the lead in the second round of their last 32 Europa League match with Porto. Luis Fabiano with the goal. Porto are now down to 10 men, and it could go into extra time because it's currently 2-2 on aggregates. And in Italy's Serie A, new Roma coach Vincenzo Montella has taken charge of them for their match against Bologna, and it's a good start for him so far. Daniele De Rossi has put Roma 1-0 up. And that is the sport for now. Taimur.
Thank you very much.